Business English, suggestions and opinions. Hi there! In today's video, we've got a super practical English conversation between a manager and a team member. They're planning a new project, and you'll hear 10 natural phrases that professionals actually use in real meetings. Phrases like, just throwing it out there. Can I push back on that a little? And let's take a step back. These are perfect if you want to sound more confident and collaborative at work. Let's jump into the conversation.
Situation. Exchange of ideas on how to proceed with a new project.
Hey, Jamie, got a minute? I've been thinking about the kickoff plan for the next client project.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Just throwing it out there, but what if we approach this differently from last time?
Okay, I'm listening.
One thing to consider is how long the approval cycle took before. Maybe we can streamline that?
That makes sense. But I'm a bit concerned it might delay development if we skip some reviews.
Totally fair. Hear me out for a second. What if we flipped the script and had the dev team lead the weekly check-ins instead of waiting on management sign-offs?
Interesting. Let me run something by you. If we did that, should we also update the client on this new process?
Yeah, definitely. Just thinking out loud here, but maybe we loop them in with a brief onboarding deck?
We might want to revisit that old workflow doc too. It's based on the old structure.
Good point. Can I push back on that a little? I'm not sure the whole doc needs a rewrite. Maybe just the comms section?
Fair. How about a quick sanity check with the PM before we move forward?
Agreed. Let's take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and make sure this new flow actually serves the team better.
Did you catch that? Let's review the 10 phrases used for making suggestions or sharing opinions in the conversation. Ready? Listen closely. Just throwing it out there. Used when a manager casually floats an idea without pressure.
Just throwing it out there.
Just throwing it out there.
Just throwing it out there. One thing to consider is used to share a point or perspective worth paying attention to.
One thing to consider is
One thing to consider is
One thing to consider is hear me out for a second.
Used to ask someone to listen briefly before jumping to conclusions.
hear me out for a second.
hear me out for a second.
Hear me out for a second. What if we flip the script?
Used to suggest a reverse or unconventional way of thinking.
What if we flipped the script?
What if we flip the script?
What if we flip the script? Let me run something by you.
Used by a team member to get feedback on an idea or plan.
Let me run something by you.
Let me run something by you.
Let me run something by you. Just thinking out loud here.
Used as a soft preface when brainstorming or exploring thoughts aloud.
Just thinking out loud here.
Just thinking out loud here.
Just thinking out loud here. We might want to revisit that.
Used to suggest reviewing past materials or decisions.
We might want to revisit that.
We might want to revisit that.
We might want to revisit that. Can I push back on that a little?
Used to gently express a differing opinion or concern.
Can I push back on that a little?
Can I push back on that a little?
Can I push back on that a little? How about a quick sanity check?
Used to propose a quick review to ensure something still makes sense.
How about a quick sanity check?
How about a quick sanity check?
How about a quick sanity check? Let's take a step back.
Used to suggest zooming out to reassess the broader picture.
Let's take a step back.
Let's take a step back.
Let's take a step back. Did you catch any useful suggestion phrases? Let's listen to it one more time, just a bit slower.
Hey, Jamie, got a minute? I've been thinking about the kickoff plan for the next client project.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Just throwing it out there. But what if we approach this differently from last time?
Okay, I'm listening.
One thing to consider is how long the approval cycle took before. Maybe we can streamline that?
That makes sense, but I'm a bit concerned it might delay development if we skip some reviews.
Totally fair. Hear me out for a second. What if we flipped the script and had the dev team lead the weekly check-ins instead of waiting on management sign-offs?
Interesting. Let me run something by you. If we did that, should we also update the client on this new process?
Yeah, definitely. Just thinking out loud here, but maybe we loop them in with a brief onboarding deck?
We might want to revisit that old workflow doc too. It's based on the old structure.
Good point. Can I push back on that a little? I'm not sure the whole doc needs a rewrite. Maybe just the comms section?
Fair. How about a quick sanity check with the PM before we move forward?
Agreed. Let's take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and make sure this new flow actually serves the team better.